Sakurama, the new location, plays host to the world's best. Two world champions here get to contest round 4 against the relatively unknown Brazilian upstart who dispatched of John Florence. The young man Yago Dora gets to mix it up with the world's best here as you join us for round 4, heat number 2.
In a bid for that, if you can slide through round number 5 and get straight to the quarters, that's what you got to do.
Well, the two Australians turn their nose up at this little inside left-hander, and Yago Dora will get going. He'll flare the tail out. Incomplete. Saw a similar pattern as Yago Dora approached his round 3 heat against John Florence. Made clear intention of how he wants to play his strengths.
As he would. On the forehand here. That snap, and then sets up the air. You know, that's where he was seeing excellent scores go against John Florence. Why would you change? Similar type of conditions, kind of that shoulder high lefts.
Young underprivileged kid chaperoning him for a surf, so lots of those responsibilities that come with being a world champion. And now Yago Dora rips into another little left-hander, sweeps it, connecting the dots. Opportunity, and he over-amps it, runs a little too much voltage through there and blows the speaker. And it'll be an incomplete. First ride for him was a 317.
Like what he's doing though. That was a smaller inside wave. Maybe an inconsistent heat, which we saw the heat previous. Kind of pumping. Lots of waves in that heat. This one seems a little slower, so he's making the adjustment. He's going to go inside and try and pick up some scores early to apply some pressure to the world champions. And you know what their strategy is going to be, right? They're going to sit and wait for set waves. They know how important those set waves are. So let them battle. Maybe those set waves don't come. Yago's going to put some scores up. Although you're right, overcooked that air. Maybe just a little tail blow and rides out of it. He puts a much better score than just the 4.17. A little better in the wind conditions. Again, the afternoons will probably get a little stronger. So maybe just run during the morning hours. But again, looking at that, it's there's opportunity definitely coming down the pipe. You'd assume that he's going there. I don't know for sure, but that's a big event, QS 6000.
Joel Parkinson now, wave number 1. Beautiful sweeps as we expect from one of the smoothest surfers of the modern era. Parko, versatility here. Little stomp and just grab a rail at the end of that. So declining swell here. We are running through round 4 though.
We're after it.
Just taking the tide turn now.
Yeah, so now we'll start to see. I mean, there's those times when you see the tide affect the consistencies. You watch that beautiful sweep, as you mentioned. Nice combo there. That's what we expect from Joel Parkinson. Just unfortunate mistake here because he didn't quite pull this last move off. That would have been, it's still going to be the best wave of the heat, but it ultimately could have been a solid score, especially since we're considering where we are. We're only at 17 and a half minutes left, so it's been an inconsistent heat. So these waves are so important because of the fact that we're not going to see a whole lot of them now because the clock is just ticking away.
Right now, you know, us Brazilians, we have a lot of passion about everything that we do. You know, we are very competitive, and one thing for sure, we don't take for granted any opportunity. So he's looking after winning this heat and make through to the next round.
And Carlos, we just saw Mick Fanning there ripping through on a right-hander, getting some efficiency there, a couple of nice turns off the lip. What a privilege for Yago Dora to be surfing against these two world champions.
He's going to try to win this heat because we are like that. You know, we are Brazilians. I'm sorry, that's the way we are.
And we love you for it, Carlos.
All right, I love you guys too.
Thanks so much, Carlos Burley.
Nothing super hypercritical. Judges taking note as you watch Mick Fanning, who ends up getting the best wave of the heat. 2 quick snaps. That's that White Lightning nickname that he carries. So quick in transition. Great flow. Ends up getting into the good range. Bit of strategy there. Let's see what Mick has for us.
Live action, Mick Fanning. Just a Fanning hook. Second one. Lovely. Puts it together. Wonder how many times Mick Fanning's done that in his life.
Those 3-turn combos like that. And a beach break. Duramba. Probably 1,362 times.
This year.
And now it's 363.
Yeah.
Well, so he had great variety. Look at this. He drops in, does that nice round hooking snap, straight out of it, into the snap in the lip, gets the fins up and over, and then the float, gets the board rocking and rolling on the lip, and pulls it down with speed, that's going to be a good score. Best score of the heat.
Those angle changes are, hey Pete. Let's have a look at Parker here on the right-hander as well. Lovely swoops as Joel does. Little semi-rock and roll at the bottom of that falling lip to bring a conclusion.
Well, that wave is a lot more cramped than we saw Mick Fanning have. He had to pack it in. He did get the 3 turns, but a little bit more difficult to get it in there, so that affected his flow because he wasn't able to really draw out any bottom turns. So we watch again here, a little smaller wave, but so silky smooth. Every time we describe his style of surfing, but there you see getting up to that section late. Pulls it off though, so he completed the ride. This is going to go into one of his top 2. As you look at Mick Fanning's already going into a solid score.
Not just yet, with Fiji just a few weeks out. Having a look here at 2 of the greatest of the sport. Mick Fanning will nab the inside section here. Nice little click to start. Fanning, again, almost a carbon copy for the first 2 turns.
Jeez, I don't know how he got up in that last section.
Now the Brazilians will start making a noise for young Yago Dora. A little stumble there. Now big leverage there. They love the second turn. Nice flare. And now the action continues. Parker, open face rip. We'll start getting excited about this, must Joel Parkinson. And he'll flare the tail out. Little under 9 to go here.
The rails we see Yago Dora on his first turn got a little stuck, whereas that quick snap and then rips into that and somehow was able to climb that last section. You see the technique there as he climbed the wall that's already broken and used that as the resistance. That turn there somehow was able to pull it off nice and strong, but again it affected his flow. But then that backhand hook where he gets the tail free and up and over was awesome. And then look at this style. He rips that back arm across his body. That's that power. And then goes for the fin free, little reverse right there on Yago's head. This is some live action.
Now Yago Dora, quick back to work. Little right hand angle to the jam there to bring a conclusion. Clock's ticking away. Little consistency back in the Sakuraba lineup now.
Moving in the inside, riding those smaller waves.
Well, Mick likes the look of this little one. It should feed itself onto the bank. Let's have a look and see. Again, Mick, like a machine, just grinds those turns out. Those ones will go a little Ori on him.
You saw he just had that ever so slight dig of the rail on that first maneuver, and it put him out of timing for the second one. He tried to really give it a little extra to try and make up for the little hitch. Let's take a look here at Yago on the backhand. Transition snap there. Watches out for the backwash. And a very strong finish. He's been able to get those strong finishes, but if he can get those first turns executed a little more critical, he can start giving this heat a run. Again, watch this final move. Straight up into the lip. Plants that back foot. Watch this turn here. Rips into it, but there. The nose grabs in the backwash and then puts him off timing for the second maneuver. And he pretty much gave up on it.
Yeah, they suffered from the backwashes from the previous set that everyone had partaken in. So quick repetitions here. Let's see if this set doesn't get warbles. Parko, smooth as silk, as always. Just rail line beauty. It's like drawing on a wave face. Little graffiti at the end for Parko. So he fits that little jam in. So a little beach break snizzles here for all of us to enjoy.
Twist on that third maneuver. I mean, he does it even here on these. He wraps his body all the way around. You see the upper body twisting 2 in a row. And then this one where it's a very critical section, but the hip twist literally, he like twists his hips in the lip in the critical section to keep the board. His body stays still at the top, but the underneath his hips gets down and twists it down so he can keep the momentum going to get that finish section right there. So hard to do. Got to have that core strength.
Picked out 4 waves in the lineup. This one will be his 5th one right now. And he's going to, as you were saying, Pete, he's going to switch it to the left, and this could be dangerous. And he'll flare out and go incomplete. And the crowd on their feet are willing their young, new superhero against the world's best here, and it's making for great entertainment on a Carnival Sunday. Indications, there's a bit of deep water movement, some whistles, and now here's the positioning in the lineup. It's going to pay out for Yago Dora. Down the line he goes. The Brazilian needs to put something together. Big rotation. And it sounds like a soccer stadium here. Mick Fanning will answer as well. Massive chainsaw rip there. Second one again. Now Fanning, one more. Yes, it is. And there's something at the end here. Will Mick go progression?
That is a champion right there. He heard that crowd. He tapped right into it and said, well, I know how to quiet you down. I mean, he's going to improve right there. Even though Yago did go big and he's going to get a big score, Mick says, I know how to do this, and he did it.
The seconds counting down, 3, 2, 1. The horn blows right on the edge of that stand-up, so we'll see. We'll follow Parko here. Bigger wall, lovely hit. Love the way he adjusts it with the back foot. But Dora and Fanning and Parko owed scores, so we'll stay with the moment here. What are you thinking, Pete?
Well, you saw what he was doing. His intentions were so clear. Full rotation, flat spin, landed it clean, but then you see Mick Fanning paddling into that next wave, but beautiful execution. The one thing that's really nice about this aerial, it's an ollie, no grab, so that could be more difficult, and the rotation in which he received all the way around. But Mick Fanning, I feel like this is going to be his best wave. Two beautiful snaps on the outside, the float, and then he gets his own air at the end. Not the amplitude that we saw from Yago Dora, but mixed with all of those other turns, you'd have to say this is going to go excellent.
Well, Mick with a 7.9 in his scoreline, so looking to beat that, Pete. Definitely, I agree with you, best wave from Mick.
And that's just going to make it that much tougher, really. As soon as that score comes in, you're going to see probably Yago having to, well, there it is, the score's in.
A 9.5 for Mick Fanning, and a great win here in round number 4. Great stuff from the 3-time world champion, bringing his prowess to the beach breaks of Brazil. Stay with us. Another big heat with Jordy Smith coming up next.